Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode of 18 Talks. The topic today is secondary market transactions, means transactions of the ready properties. And today, as our guest of the podcast, we have Mr. Hitesh, who is the king of the secondary market in our office. He is head of the secondary department. So the things that we're going to talk about today are the details about the secondary transactions, because a lot of the people who are thinking to invest, who have invested before in off-plan properties, they know that buying off-plan is like the easiest thing that you can do. You don't have to leave your house, you don't have to leave your country. You can sign the papers sitting on the sofa at home. You can choose the unit over Zoom meeting or over the phone. You can make a payment through the payment link or the bank transfer. You will receive the certificate of ownership or code online. So you don't actually have to do much work. But then buying secondary property is a lot different. It's like 360 degrees different. It involves more documentation. It involves from the buyers more money upfront, of course, but it gives upfront benefits as well. So this is what we're going to discuss today. How buying ready properties is different from buying off plan. How is it beneficial for the clients? We are going to talk about Hitesh's favorite areas. We are going to talk a lot about the documents and just educate you really about secondary market. So hi Hitesh.
Hi Viktoryia, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Are you feeling comfortable?
I'm very relaxed. It's nice to be here with you.
Nice to be in front of the camera. I know you love to be in front of the camera, so today is a lovely day. So Hitesh, for how many years have you been to Dubai?
I think, Dubai has been, if I remember, is around 15 years I've been in Dubai now.
Mm-hmm.
And out of those 15 years, this is my 14th year in real estate in Dubai itself.
So what was the first year about?
The first year, basically, Dubai was not by choice, so I was not even in Dubai. So I was in another country. I was doing business consulting before real estate.
Okay.
And I was working with a very big, large multinational company. So I was basically dropped into Dubai to do a consulting work for one of our big banks in Dubai. And the project was very nice. It was good. We started very well, but apparently it didn't go very well. So it survived only a year and we had to close our project. So I had some friends over here in Dubai and who were already doing real estate. And, so I was doing business consulting, business development for a very long time. So that was a skill set that I had. And I was always in touch with them. So they asked me that, now that you don't want to go to any other place, you don't want to go back home, why don't you try yourself in real estate in Dubai? And Dubai was at that point of time, booming, it was coming up. So it was a completely different experience about. And when I started real estate in Dubai 14 years ago, I think if I remember, we did not had any property finder. We did not had any Bayut. And the only thing that we had was Tubizzle, which is more like a classified for cars and all. And I still remember seeing my photograph in Gulf News for the first time, because during those times, if you really wanted to promote yourself as a real estate broker, you had to advertise in Gulf News. So there used to be a property section in Gulf News with 4 or 5 pages. And all the big companies and small companies used to take a small portion of it. And that's from how my journey started, so I can say that. But, it's been a long journey. So, yeah, learned a lot.
Yeah, I remember those times, and it was like completely unaffordable almost for people to make the ads. So there were very few agencies. Like now, because of the social media and all of the digital world, majority of the people prefer even not to be a part of the company, but to be individual brokers, because, now there are digital platforms where you basically advertise yourself, and then advertising properties comes after. But at that point of time, as an individual, you cannot buy yourself, a page in the newspaper.
It was impossible unless you're associated with a very big company and they decide to use you, a small section, you will get 1 or 2 slots, and you're so happy. So journey started from there. So I think now what people do real estate now is a very, very well planned kind of, with lots of comfort factors, there are a lot of instruments to promote you and promote your business. I call it like an individual business. But compared to 14 years ago, it was a completely, I still remember when I had to take a listing. I probably would knock the doors of some communities. I started my journey with Spring Meadows and all, so I would knock the door and maybe meet them at shopping, those malls and stand at kiosks. I would probably, drop my leaflets under the door, telling them if you're really interested to sell your. So there's a lot of investment that you had to do, get them printed and dropping and meeting people, and so it was. I would say that really helped me to gain that confidence and comfort to understand how the secondary business happens. And today, all that I learned in the last 14 years is really helping me.
Would you say that at the time when there were almost no instruments to do this business and you basically did everything like manually on your knees, we have this expression, was it still easier to do real estate business back then because there was almost no competition and only like the bravest sharks, decided to do this job? Now everyone, I land in Dubai, I rented my apartment, it was so easy, so let me maybe try to become a real estate agent.
Yeah, at that point of time, since, like you said, it was all manual, it was hardcore, real estate. So it was easy to a point that there was not much competition. Yes. So you would have a select group of brokers that whom you would call them as a friend, and then you would work with them in a certain community, and you will become an expert with them. So more or less, you were like a local man. So you would meet the owners and tenants in the market. There were less people, and they would know you. So if someone wants to sell something, selling one house at that point of time was a very big thing. Today, even if you do 3 sales, you feel, I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But at that point of time, selling one house was a very big thing because you could dictate your own terms and conditions.
You could get a larger piece in the newspaper.
So yeah, it was good at that point of time. And now, now because, like you said rightly, that everybody who thinks about Dubai and they feel that this is a bling bling city, let me come here. I see so much on Instagram. I can also be a real estate broker. Let me land here, and then it's difficult. Now it's very difficult to penetrate. And the problem is that Dubai has evolved so much that at that point of time it was a very small map. So for us to remember where we need to work, where we need to focus was easy. But now, coming in this city is like 10 times bigger than what it used to be. So it's more difficult now.
You recently became a leader. You recently became a head of the secondary department, right? I know that it made your life a lot more difficult because you have to take care not only of yourself and your clients, but you have to take care of the whole team, and majority of them are fresh people who are just starting their career. Considering your experience, considering how much you know, considering that you started doing this business totally manually without any tools, when you look at the person, can you straight away judge, look, you are gonna make it, but you go home to your mama?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I'm true. Sometimes I can. When I spend like a half a day with them, I would get a bit of a understanding that this will go, this will not go.
So which people will go? Like, give me characteristics of the broker who is going to make it in secondary market today with all of this competition.
I think, someone who is... So when you meet someone, when you interview them, you try to understand their background, from where they're coming and why they're coming and why they want to do real estate. Really come out with some fancy answers. So those fancy answers don't work in secondary market. The ones who come out with a bit of logic and hard-coded responses, and also what they have been doing in the past, kind of give me a bit of a sense that this is a person I can invest into and would translate into business. Of course, you need to handhold them, you need to educate them, you need to take them to a point from where it gets into that autopilot mode. But if you ask me in regards to characteristics, yes, the people who are hard-coded people, who do not have a very fancy kind of a lifestyle, those are the people who typically would work in a secondary market, because secondary market means that you are standing in the sun, you are sitting in your car for half an hour waiting for your clients and they don't turn up. There's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of depression. You are thinking that this money is going to come to you, it doesn't come to you. So how would you survive? So you really need kind of soldiers in a secondary market compared to off-plan. Off-plan is okay, you manage it the way you want to manage it.
I would completely disagree. But today's podcast is about secondary, so
hear me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say someone who's hard-coded, who's happy to go that extra mile, who's happy to accept rejections, who his background and all that stuff, he's been doing in the past. I think when I meet them, I can judge it, and at times I can understand that this guy will work very well in secondary.
Okay, so have you regret becoming a manager yet, or it gives you some kind of satisfaction?
It does give me a satisfaction, because I feel 18 Bricks has recognized my effort, and they have valued my experience. And, so the journey from the time I joined 18 Bricks till now has been amazing, so it's not only that I have made a most out of it, but I think it was an in and out, both the parties made the most out of it. And I loved it, I'm very excited about this new role. It's actually helping me put all my experience, and I'm able to kind of translate and
share the wisdom,
share it with them. And honestly speaking, if you realize now, I see happy faces in the office. So I feel good when they're making money, and they every month they're coming and they're getting their commissions and all that stuff. So it just gives you a good feeling that at some point of time you were also like them, and now just that you're just few steps up and you're able to help them. So yeah, that's doing good. But yes, to be honest with you, it's taking a toll on me. It's not easy. And I am personally losing out on my personal business also, because of my focus is on them.
So let's talk about the benefits of buying ready properties. Because, just for the people who are watching us and they don't know what's happening on a daily basis in our office, we were trying to pull Hitesh towards the off-plan sales, and we were trying to seduce him to work a little bit in the off-plan sales. However, he said, whatever is the client that you give me and he wants to buy off plan, I will convince him to buy secondary. I cannot do anything with myself. So, let's say, if you are buying off plan, there are certain benefits, right? Yeah. You will get capital appreciation if you choose the right area, and especially if you buy at the very early stages and with a reputable developer in a good location. This is the benefit number one. The benefit number two is that you can actually pay in small portions. There is a payment plan available, right? Then the third thing is that you get a brand new property and you get a vacant property. So if you move into this, it's nice. Nobody lived there before. If you bought for yourself, if you want to rent it out, you can rent it straight away at the current market rate. Yes. Yeah. So those are the benefits of buying off plan. So now please convince all of us that people should also look, because people who are residents of Dubai, obviously, they are looking into buying a lot of secondary properties, because they are not only investors, they are end users. They want to live somewhere, right? So if you look at the transactions that are happening, if you are looking at the data of the Dubai Land Department, secondary transactions and off-plan transactions are 50-50 normally, 55-45, 45-55, more or less the same. So now tell us, what is so seductive about buying the secondary properties for investors and for international people?
Yeah, I'm on a tight spot, so what happens is that it's my personal feeling that when you are looking to buy in Dubai or invest in Dubai as an international investor, these are different kind of people, so what I experience in the last so many years is that there are people who want to buy something that they can touch and feel, and they can experience it. So which means that if I buy something today, from tomorrow onwards my income is coming in, or I have a house to live. The other big advantage that you have buying a secondary property is that you take a loan from the bank, which is paid off over a long period of time. I would say 20 to 25 years, which gives a buyer a flexibility that he can manage his funds the way he wants to, because there is a long commitment. But having said that, he will never reach to a point wherein he has to pay a big chunk of his money. When I compared this with an off plan, what happens is that you do have attractive payment plans, but somewhere down the line, you end up paying a big chunk of money, and then you again settle down, then you pay a big. But like you said, if it's an attractive off plan project in a good location, and it's giving you something which is post handover, you could consider that as an option. But the way I look at secondary is something that you buy at the right time, and you give it some time, and if you want to flip it also, you can flip it. Because looking at the rental market of Dubai these days, the way the rents are going up, it is actually giving you more benefits in regards to, and these are numbers, these are not assumptive numbers or futuristic numbers, these are real numbers. So if I tell someone that you will get, let's say, an X amount of money from a rental for if you buy this villa, he doesn't need to look at me and buy because I'm telling him. He can actually go online. All this data is available, what was not available 10, 15 years ago. So he could look at that, and the math works for it. So that's why, I feel that, you have a base to look at, and you have numbers to play around with, and that can give you a kind of a definite, feeling that yes, I should buy a secondary.
Okay. Yeah. So let's just conclude this part, because I want to break down everything that you said in like deeper topics to, because brokers are going to be watching us, maybe fresh brokers are going to be watching us, our brokers are going to be hopefully watching us and learning, about all the rules and regulations, because you're trying to teach them on daily basis, and then, they remember 10% and they forget everything, and you have to repeat again. So now it's going to be recorded, so you can just put YouTube on for them, and you don't have to bother yourself. So the first benefit, that secondary property is going to be really fit for the people who cannot buy something that they imagine, that they need to stand there, they need to touch the walls, to look outside the window. Okay, for them only secondary property. But then you are saying for secondary also you don't have to pay everything straight away, right? Yeah. So not a lot of people know that the option of mortgage is available not only for the residents of Dubai, but for the international people. Let's talk a little bit about the mortgage. Let's say if you are a resident, what are the requirements from you to get accepted for the mortgage, and what kind of down payment you need to pay? How does the process work? Just let's start from the residents, and then we will talk to international people.
Okay. I'm not a mortgage expert, but because I've done so much transactions in the last so many years, so that gives me a lot of knowledge in regards to how the whole process works. Is going back to the point where you said what is the advantage of actually buying something which is secondary. See, if you look at it from a number perspective, when you decided this is the house that I want to buy, there's a very small portion of money that you're bringing in, which anyways, if you compare it with an off plan, you still need to bring the same amount of money also. And here we're talking about a range of 20% being the most minimum that you have to put in from your side, 20 to 25%.
For Dubai residents. For Dubai residents.
Yes, for Dubai residents.
Down payment is almost the same. For the off plan and for the secondary, it's around 20-25%, depending on the developer or the bank.
Bank come out with some promotions. So, of course, that 25% could become 20%. But more or less, on an average, 20 to 25% you have to. Then comes your fees that you have to pay for when you buy a property. Now, it's the same that you would pay for buying an off-plan and you buying a secondary. The only benefit that you have in off-plan is you don't pay a broker any commission, because he's taken care by the developer. In this case, the brokers will ask you for a commission. And I feel it's their right, you should pay them.
Yes.
They've done a lot of hard work. So,
what's the amount of the commission that you charge in secondary market?
It's a standard practice. There is no rule or law which says that you have to charge this much percentage only. But we follow the practice, which is the 2% of the sale value is what we charge. In most cases, we charge the same amount of money from the seller also, because we are investing in promoting their property. It's not easy these days. There's a lot of cost that we put in, and there's a lot of effort that is put in by the brokers. So of course, it's their right to ask seller. We're giving him what he wants, so a small portion we can always take it from him. It's fine. Fine. And that's a practice everywhere. It's just not Dubai. It's everywhere. So here we are. You have a small portion of money that you have to have with yourself, which is, it could be 20 or 25%, and the remaining based on your financial credentials, your capabilities, your bank looks at it, and then based on that they offer you a loan, which you will pay over the 20 or 25 years. Now there are different packages that bank could offer you. It could be a flexible percentage, or it could be a fixed rate for a few years. What I suggest to most of my buyers or investors who are not buying something very big, but they're buying a small property, to go for a loan which is fixed for at least 4 to 5 years. What it does is that it fixes their outflow. It also helps them understand how the market is behaving. They could anticipate some kind of a capital appreciation, because we choose the properties for them which are good for them. And then at the end of the day, when we reach to the 4th year or 5th year, I am always in touch with them, and if we see that their outflow has been fixed, because what happens is if you don't go with a fixed and you go with a variable, there is a component called IBOR. Now that can actually destroy the whole calculation. It could increase your payment term, and also increase your EMI for the month. So when you know that your outflow is fixed for the next 4-5 years, you are now only waiting for the market to behave. And if the market behaves well, then you as a buyer, as an owner who has put in X amount of money, you can actually flip your property also and sell it off. So you've enjoyed the rental portion, and now the market has gone up, and so you can sell it, and what you're paying to the bank is what you have already paid, and rest is paid by the buyer.
Yes.
So that variable portion is taken care by depending upon the package that you choose. So yeah.
I think we should mention also to the people who are watching us, people who are residents and people who are currently paying the rent, that in all of the cases, whatever is the bank that you are gonna go with, right, your monthly payment for the property is gonna be still lower than
Much
you
lesser.
would be paying the
Much
rent.
lesser. I mean, if you look at it, a lot of people ask me that how do you calculate your return on investment? What happens to me if I lose my job, if I have to go from here? What happens? There could be multiple reasons, So I always tell them, I said there are a few things that you have to keep in mind. The good thing is that our dirham is pegged with US dollar. So which means that even if you leave this country and you go to any other country, your return is calculated based on the dollar. Let's say you go back to a country like India, where the currency fluctuates a lot, and here you're getting dollars, so you can actually calculate how much money that you will be getting back there as your investment return. And also, if you look at the amount of EMIs that you're paying per month, or let's say for a year, and also the service charges, your rental that you're going to get for your property will always be at a stage where it can pay off your EMIs and it can pay off your service charges, and still you will make some money out of it. Yes. So that's the advantage of buying a secondary, buying a property which is ready.
Because we were even calculating with, you remember, we were doing the exercise for the exclusive buildings that we got now in one of the oldest communities in Discovery Gardens. We were calculating that if you have a clear bank history, you have a stable job, let's say, and you want to invest, you live here or in Abu Dhabi or in Ras Al Khaimah, and let's say you are buying studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, we have multiple units, but we were calculating that by paying the down payment of 20%, and then you are paying your EMIs, and then you are paying your service charge, you are still making around 10% on the money that you actually invested from your pocket. Because from your pocket, it was only, let's say, 20% plus commission plus transfer fees. You didn't pay the whole amount. So basically, even if you are taking a bank loan, you are making as an ROI the same amount in percentage as the person who would pay the full cash.
Correct.
So for those people who have the full cash and they want to buy secondary in cash, first get in touch with us and get a consultation, because probably we can direct you in a way that instead of owning only one property, you can have straight away a portfolio, just using the services of the local banks.
Yeah. And as I always advise that it's no point putting all your money in one, when you have an option to diversify your investment portfolio, because it just makes it easy, because Dubai market works on different parameters all the time. And it's like an engine, which has got multiple pistons, which are moving up and down, up and down. So certain areas at certain point of time start behaving very differently, and they end up giving you more returns than you would have actually anticipated because of something. For example, I'll give you an example now. Dubai South, Emaar South and all. At some point of time, let's say 3 years, 4 years down before, people used to feel that who would go all the way? The expo was like end of Dubai, which is still, of course. But we know that the Maktoum, we have the new airport coming up over there. If you now see the rates, you start comparing the prices of these areas and how the government has invested into the infrastructure and making it so easy for people that people have started realizing that it was a good option for them to invest at that point of time. And now we are enjoying more from a secondary market perspective because there are a lot of transactions that are happening because these units are all ready. People want to rent there. They're affordable. And also, from a pricing point of view, they are doing very well. So this is just an example, when I say that different portions of Dubai operate differently at a given point of time. That's why, it's always advisable, if you have the flexibility, diversify your investment and make the most out of it.
So this was the explanation for the mortgage conditions for the Dubai residents. For those people who are watching us and they are international buyers, you also have a chance to get the mortgage. It's just the difference is gonna be that you will need to put upfront a bigger down payment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's going to be around 50% plus minus, also depending on the country that you're applying from, depending on if you own the properties here already or not. And then you would need to show your income statement as well, which would need to equal 35,000 dirhams and above. For Dubai residents, it's a lower requirement, right? For Dubai residents, they can apply for the loan if the salary or stable income is 15,000 dirhams and above. So for international people, in your local currency, it has to convert to 35,000 dirhams. And you need a bigger down payment. So still, if you had full cash for one property, you could still get at least two.
Yeah, because there is a lot of interest from people who do not live here. They don't know. All they know is they've been here on a visit visa as a tourist. They like this place, but they have no opportunity to move here. So they still want to invest here. So like you said at the start of our discussion there, they have a choice to go for a kind of off plan. But again, if they have an option to where their payments are funded by a bank which is locally here, why not? So of course the banks over here, they look at their incomes back home in the country, if they have any assets, and if you're in a business, they look at your statements, what kind of a business you're doing, how much money that you're making out of it. And then banks are more than happy because now someone could ask that, you are giving a loan to someone who's not even living here. So what is the guarantee how you are secured? Banks are always secured. So you are not secured. Banks are always secured.
Yes.
The asset, the physical asset is in UAE. It's in bank's possession. So if you're not making any payment, they can take it from you and they're secured.
Yes.
So that's it. So you have options. Both the segment of population have an option to buy in Dubai, and coming back to the point that why secondary, Dubai is very it's a city where you have people from all over the world and a different mindset, different segment of people, and each one of them come from with their own beliefs in regards to how they want to invest in Dubai. So that's why there is some segment of population which is from the Far East Asian countries who prefer to have something which is ready, so they can touch and feel that okay, this is mine. I don't have to wait for next 4 years to say. And then there is a certain segment of population which is from the different part of the world, which is open to this kind of an investment, which is like an off-plan kind of a thing. So
when we're talking to our investors who are buying off-plan, we are normally paying a lot of attention to the security that the Dubai government provides for its investors. We are talking a lot about the escrow accounts. We are talking about the certificate of ownership, the OCUD that people get straight away after they make down payment. We talk a lot about, we still have to explain a lot about Dubai being freehold now. Majority of the areas, which are for sale are freehold. And for me, it's still surprising when people are asking questions like, are you sure? Is it freehold?
Will it be my house?
I thought it's already old news. Yes, this is freehold. Nobody is going to take it away from you. We were just sitting in the office with the marketing team yesterday, and who was the visitor? I don't remember. Somebody came to visit the office either for interview or something, and they were saying, but if you are gonna buy here, then the government can take it away from you at any point of time, or after 90 years, and the land doesn't belong to you, and like it doesn't. And I said, this is all the news. How do you think? Why do you think the property boom happened here 20 years ago? Because the freehold ownership was announced. So the documents that the people should pay attention to when they're buying off plan is the booking form, and then OCUD, right? What are the documents that people should pay attention to when they are buying secondary property?
Yeah, I mean, now the good thing is that the government has invested so much in transparency and standardization of documents that any document, anytime you're buying a property in Dubai, there are multiple ways for you to verify who's the owner of that property, what is the actual status of that property, is it blocked property, is there an outstanding property, there are complications on this or not. So there are multiple channels via which you can do that. Secondary is very simple.
Please tell us in depth, because we know what are the channels, but people who are watching us, this is the question.
So there are things that you as a new buyer that you would expect your broker to check for you, is that whenever you decide on a property, every property has got a document which is the ownership document. In secondary, they call it a title deed. The title deed actually talks about the size, the details, the unit number, parking, whether it is mortgage, non-mortgage, and it also gives you that you can actually read at what price this property was bought by the existing owner. So it should give you a good feeling that how much money he is making. So there's similar amount of money that you can make after a few years when you keep the property. Now, when you go and verify these documents, there is a platform called Dubai Rest. So you could actually go there. There is a DLD website, Dubai Land Department website. You put the title deed number. You can actually take out the information about this property. If there is a blocking over there, it could be blocked because the owner has not paid service charges. So Dubai government probably at some point of time would have, along with RERA, would have put a block on the property, which means that unless he does not clear it,
he cannot transact.
You cannot transaction. There could be multiple reasons that this property, the owner has not been paying mortgages for a long time. So the bank through Dubai court could have put a block, and now he wants to sell it. So many a times the owners in a secondary market, secondary is a bit funny, you have all kind of weird cases in secondary, and you have to be very careful when you're actually trying to close a deal, because there's a lot of excitement in secondary. Okay, I'm closing a deal. So you have one paper which says the title deed. When you actually open it, you go into the system, you realize that it has a history. And when you start going into that history, it becomes a challenging thing, because the guy does not have the money to pay service charges. So he expects a new buyer to pay the service charges, which means the buyer is risking himself to pay for someone which he does not even own at the moment.
What would you do as a broker? Would you advise to him to pay, or would you find another property for him?
I would find another property.
I agree with you.
I was stuck in a similar transaction, and I remember it became very bad and ugly. And the funny thing was that the seller said, listen, I'm happy to give you a check as a guarantee that I will not run away and you pay on my behalf. So my answer was, if you're willing to give a check, that means there is money there, or maybe there is no money. So even if you run away, this is still going to bounce. So we had to cancel it. So we canceled that deal. So, like I said, I mean, there are multiple channels via which you can actually verify the authenticity of the document, and then you can proceed with different contracts that we have, and at each level of the contracting, it's verified by the Dubai Land Department. So if there's anything wrong with the property, it doesn't go any further. So as a broker, you are supposed to make sure that you verify the property. As a end user, as a buyer, that you're buying a property, you need to make sure that you verify the documents, and if everything is okay, you can go ahead. And it doesn't stop there. If you're taking a loan from your bank, the bank will also do the same thing. So there are multiple points, checkpoints, at what you can actually be sure that what you're buying is good and is safe.
But I would say in a simple language, just to conclude, especially for the international buyers, we should say to them that buying here, it does not require you to hire a lawyer, let's say, like in UK.
Yes.
No,
that's
there is
something
Dubai
that
Land Department, which is a government institution which takes care of every step of the transaction, right? All of the documents, whether for rent, let's say contracts for rent or contracts for sale, those are unified contracts created by the government, and the owner and the buyer can only add to this addendum if they have like any special requirements. Same goes for the rent. But then everything is generated, all the contracts are generated through the governmental portals, and then the OTP codes are sent both to the buyers and the sellers. So there is no way that if that somebody is wants to trick you, and they will actually be able to trick you. You cannot trick anyone. The government takes care of everything.
You cannot be tricked anymore, because what used to happen before was people used to get a title deeds printed by the land department after the transfer. So those title deeds used to be, it was a paper, you carry it along with yourself for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So and don't lose it.
Yeah, don't lose it. A lot of people used to laminate it and keep it.
And put on the wall.
Like a certificate on the wall.
Yeah.
And we've had incidents, and during those days when people used to come here, we used to literally tell them, bring this paper from home, bring this paper from home.
Yeah.
And still, people used to forget their title deeds in their home country and come on a plane and come here. So we had to cancel everything, courier it again and all that stuff. So what government did was they decided that this is not going to happen anymore. Let's be more smarter and intelligent. So they basically came out with this process of everything via the system, and it's all digitalized. So both the owners, buyer, and the seller, they both know what's happening with their property. So, and even if they're approving a contract, they are approving something which is approved by the government. So you're very well safe. I mean, in regards to your investments in Dubai, I would say this is one of the most safest city and completely transparent in regards to your investments. That's what I would suggest.
I think we should also share with our viewers that the government is trying to secure the investors by filtering the people into two categories: whoever is qualified and not qualified to actually give investment advices and do the transactions. Because to be a real estate broker, you actually need a certificate from Dubai Land Department, from RERA. So in order to get this certificate, you actually need to learn everything about the rules and regulations and the law and the documents, and then you take exam, and only after that you get your broker card. So for you guys to verify if your broker is qualified to work with you or not, ask him for his broker card, and then you will know.
That's a very big initiative by the government, so because there are a lot of freelancers who are working in Dubai real estate market. I mean, and there are more freelancers than actually registered brokers.
Yes.
But when you're dealing with a registered broker, it gives you a sense of comfort. It gives you a sense of feeling that you're dealing with the right set of people. And it's not easy to get a broker card. I mean, a lot of people might assume that, okay, you just pass and all that stuff. Every year there is a renewal. Every year you have to pass. And of course, you don't get multiple chances. You fail once, you get a second chance. You fail again, then you're done. So you have to wait for, there's a next amount of money you have to pay and all that stuff. But having said that, if you are not a registered broker and you're not, you cannot do any contracts under your name. So first thing first, if you are dealing with any broker, you should ask them that are they registered or not. If they are registered, of course, they will give you the broker card.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a mandatory thing now, and more or less government is very particular about pushing everybody who's working in real estate to have a broker card.
Yeah.
You cannot advertise, you cannot sell anything, you cannot do anything without it. So it's important that you have. So here you have a transparent system. It gives you contracts. It gives you, make sure your investments are secure. And the person that you're dealing with is also approved and registered by government. So I personally feel it's a title that you get from the government, that you are approved to do real estate transactions in Dubai. So that's a pride thing.
Yes,
I would say.
Yeah. That's a pride thing, and I think everybody who considers himself a broker, this is a priority for you. You should know what you're talking about,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And let's be honest, it's still easier to get this license than the driving license. So, so go and get it and be a certified broker. I want to talk a little bit about the rental market, because if you are an investor and you are buying the secondary property, the main reason for you is to get the immediate return, right?
Yes.
For you to get the immediate rental return. The government regulates the prices in the rental market. Like, let's say people cannot just increase the price of the existing contract out of the blue, out of their head. And then also the fact that the property has been transacted from one owner to another owner, it doesn't mean that the current owner can really control the rental situation from day one. So can you disclose for us a little bit what happens if, let's say, you bought a property, the property is rented with the price that you don't really like, and you know that the current price is higher? What you can do about it? Can you really kick out your tenants or not?
No.
If you can, when? And what's the procedure?
See, this is something I like about Dubai government over here, that they have really taken care of interest of every segment of population here. If you're a tenant over here, of course you have certain rights, and paying rent in Dubai, it's expensive, we all know. You as a new owner or as an existing owner, you have to follow certain regulation and guidelines which are defined by RERA. They have come out with RERA index calculator some time back. Now there's something new that they have come out, which is more like a smart calculator, index calculator, which basically takes care of certain factors which were not featured at that point of time. So it just gives you a bit of a sense that how much more you can get out of it. Now, my suggestion to people who are buying a property, of course, you need to look at the current rent that you're getting out of the property, and also the service charges. If you're someone who's looking at a big return immediately, then don't go for something which is rented at a lower price immediately, because you cannot ask your tenants to move out. They're very well protected by their legal rights. And if you do want them to move out, your basis cannot be that you want to increase the rent, so you will give them a 1-year eviction notice. No, the 1-year eviction notice, which is approved by Dubai Land Department or by Dubai courts, is purely from a perspective that you are going to be selling your house, and that's why you want this person to move out after 12 months. Okay, but it does not give you an opportunity that you could put that as a perspective of issuing a notice, and then you wait for him to move out, and then you're trying to find a new tenant. Now, that is not happening anymore. So that used to happen many years ago, but that's not happening anymore. But yes, I mean, my advice to anybody who's buying in secondary, who's looking at pure investment, is to make sure that they buy something which is rented at a decent price. There is a flexibility for you to increase the rent by next year, because the current rent is not that great. And it's more of an arrangement between the owner and the tenant. How good you are with your tenant. There's a relationship that you build. And then that's the right way of doing it. But you still have to follow the guidelines defined by the government.
But secondary market, it's not easy to find the dream property, that it will tick all the boxes. You said, okay, try to buy something that's already rented at a good price, it's in a good condition, low service charge. Okay, it's a dream property. But let's say if this option is not available, still try to look for something which is vacant. Yes. Then you can rent it straight away for the current price. Or before making a transaction, ask the current landlord to give the notice to the tenant before the transaction happens, because he actually has a right to give this notice because of the reason of selling. But if you bought it and you want to kick out your tenants because it's not happening. So this is tip Number one, and this is very important for people to keep
it does
in mind.
happen. I mean, you're right. I mean, this could be a very smarter way of actually if you are as owner of a property and you want to sell your property and it's rented at a lower value, that this could be a tool that you can use as an attraction for somebody who wants to buy your house, because what he will inherit from it is not just the lower rent but also a flexibility that at some point of time this apartment is going to get empty and I could use it the way I want to use it. It's a good tip for anybody who's trying to invest into a secondary market.
If, let's say, somebody bought an apartment, he rented it at a very good price, and then he is thinking, okay, what's going to happen if my tenant will stop paying? Who is going to protect me? What's the procedure? Let's talk a little bit about, because the first thing is not a lot of countries, they actually use the check security system.
Yeah.
This is something that's happening in Dubai. And then if the check gets bounced, like what's the procedure and what's the RERA dispute center that exists here? Please, Hitesh.
Okay, I've been into these situations before because when you spend so many years in real estate, of course you cannot get away. So practically every problem that you can think of, I've been part of it. So some we were able to solve it, some we could not solve it because the nature of the problem was like that.
But you were always on the side of the problem solver, or sometimes on the side of the troublemaker.
Yeah, it goes both ways because I played different roles when I was trying to rent it.
That's how you get experience, full experience.
So, but you need to change your gears, depending whom you are sitting in front of.
Yeah.
You're sitting in RERA. So, of course, you have to follow what is right. So, what happens is that one thing I don't like is, when you're renting an apartment over here, people don't know how to write checks. So, they give you a checkbook and say you write, which is very difficult to write. But yes, I mean, as an owner, you're protected over here. Even if you don't live here in Dubai, the guarantee that you have is in the form of checks, and the government is very particular in regards to the checks bounce. If there is a check bounce, now they have some regulations where you can file a case against somebody. The initial stage would be that you would probably request, and if it doesn't come through, it could be any reasons. You could give them an extra time, let's say another 30 days. There are some contracts which says that if for any reason that you are not able to make a payment, you would be getting another 30 days so that, if you change a job or maybe the salary did not come, maybe any reason, any emergency happened, you still have 30 days to bring the money from somewhere. You could end up taking a personal loan from the bank, something you will do, make arrangement. Assuming nothing works, you haven't been able to do any of those things. You have RERA, which is there. You could actually go there, take their advice. They would intervene. They will appoint someone, and then it goes through a regular process. And if for any it still persists that the things are not happening and the payments are not coming, then of course you could get some kind of a judgment from the court that the tenant has to vacate the property. It also happens the other way around, that sometimes there are landlords which are very greedy and they don't want to renew your tenancy contract, and they stop responding to you. Practically there is no conversation happening between you and the landlord. Then the tenant is protected over here. They can actually go to RERA, submit the rental checks over there, and the RERA will prepare the tenancy contract. We'll also do the Ejari for them. So the tenant is very well protected over here. So it goes both ways. The government is very particular about protecting the interest in regards to who's right.
Yes.
So if you're right, then you're protected.
Yes.
If you're not right, then of course then you have to face the consequences.
Yeah.
So,
so nobody gets away with not following the law in the UAE. And this is the beauty of it.
That's the beauty.
This is why all of us feel so super safe here.
Very, very safe. I mean, when you say you've been in a country, in a city for 15 years, it's like half of your life you've lived here. So there should be a reason why you're here.
Yes.
So money is one of them, but most important is safety and security.
And comfort of life.
Comfort and infrastructure. And you're protected.
Yes.
If you're not wrong, you're not wrong. Nobody says anything to you. So which is I like about it.
It's very, very hard to leave Dubai. We all get so spoiled. I tried to escape and Dubai brought me back.
That's what I was about to ask you, Viktoryia,
no other place in the world.
I'm sure you must have thought about this. Thought would have gone inside your mind multiple times. It's time to wind up. Let's go. Let's try somewhere else and all. But there is something that brings you back. This is it's addictive. This place gets on to you.
I even lost so much money just to come back here, because when I decided that, okay, I'm too tired and this is, stressful, and, I have to try something else and live in the nature. So, and I just got married at that point of time. I think I spoke about it during one of the podcasts. I just really like to talk about the time when I got married. So I got married and we left for like a very long honeymoon. We were away from the country for 6 months. And I even decided, okay, to become maybe even a better manager, let me get a master's degree, let me go to UK, let me study business administration there, and, and blah, blah, blah. So I got accepted to the university. I took exams. I paid actually for this year of the university. And then I had my friends, actually my ex-team, calling me and saying, are you crazy? What are you going to learn in the university which you already don't know? Like, you've been doing this for 10 years. Come on, the market is booming. Come back. Like, stop this nonsense. And, I was at that time waiting for my visa to be approved in UK, and I was in between. And then I thought, really, what am I going to learn? What do I need? I really miss the comfort. I really miss the safety. I want to go back. So we bought the tickets. We came back, and I canceled all of my education idea. I even lost the money there. But looking at the situation, what's happening in the world right now, looking at how many people are actually moving from Europe and from UK here daily, I'm thinking, alhamdulillah, I didn't make this wrong decision, because and I actually came back without going there and then immigrating from UK to Dubai again. So yes, amazing city
and we are not
of
the only
opportunities.
people, honestly speaking. I mean, I speak with many people. So all the old timers who've been here, they come out with the same kind of story, that they did decide to go back. Enough of staying away.
Yeah.
You made enough money, let's go back, let's try something else. No, you leave this place, I think the next flight to take it back. So it's a return trip that you do.
Yes.
So which is
which is a good thing, right?
It's a good thing. And if you notice, in the I have never come across a person who has invested in Dubai, has not made any money out of it, and has not done any further investment. I mean, if I look back to all the people that I have sold in the past so many years, I would have at least 50 to 60% of the same set of people have more investments now than when we started. So we started with one small, and they tasted the money. They realized this is doing very good for them, and then they further invested. So which is it's a strange thing, and that gives a bit of confidence to everybody that if you're a person who has patience and who is who believes in that fact that he's an investor and he wants to have an investor portfolio, you can make the most out of it over here. And especially now with the golden visa, almost everybody who's buying property over here, every second visa that I see is a golden. Even to an extent, we have a broker in our company who has a golden visa.
Who is it?
Tariq.
Oh, really? Mashallah. Okay.
So we have brokers also who are getting golden visas. So you can imagine.
Golden brokers. Yeah. You were talking about being patient as an investor. Yeah, this is very important, that investment is not something that it's not magic, right? That you bought now and the next second you made a lot of money. You need to have patience. And but when you have patience, you will realize that whatever was the situation, whatever was, the market goes up and down. This is normal in every market, but everybody still makes money. It made me think of one example. I had one Russian lady investor. We were having a conversation about the capital gains and, shall she reinvest, because she used to own apartment on JBR, and she bought the JBR apartment when JBR was still, in off-plan stage, and then she was renting it for a lot of years, and then when pandemic happened, she was one of the people who panicked, and she sold it at a discounted price, which was almost the same price as she bought it many years back. So she was telling to me, Viktoryia, so if you buy at the right time, if you sell at the right time, yes, it makes sense. But then if the market fluctuation happens, then you are not making any money. And I said, wait a little bit. For how many years did you actually rent this property out, getting 10% per year? And she said, and I said, yeah. So you took all the money back that you actually invested when you sold it, and then calculate how much you made, 120%? Yes, you're actually right. So yeah, because it's not only about the capital gain. This is about the rent. So the longer you have the patience for, the more money you will make.
That's always the case. I mean, same for our business also. You know, we've been doing brokerage for a long time now. You and me have been doing brokerage for a long time. So if you look at it, the stress level we used to have then versus now is completely different. You know, the amount of income that you would have made at that point of time now is completely different. You know, and the base of your set of people that you would know at that point versus now is completely different. So business becomes much more easier now than what it used to be at that point of time. So yeah, patience plays a very big role in real estate. And it's not about Dubai. I mean, if you look at any part of the world, anywhere you buy, I mean, you have to wait. Typically, what has been noticed is that in a real estate industry, there is a cycle of 8 years. Okay, anything that you buy now will go through a multiple layers of ups and downs. If you look at Corona, when Corona happened, you know how fast we bounced back. If you look at the recession portion that we happened in 2008 and all that, the way people were running from here, how well we bounced back. You know, and 2013 was a big year for us, then 14, 15, 16, and then we kept going up and all. So it's a cycle, you know, it's a cycle that every business has to go through, and real estate goes through typically a cycle of 8 years. And if today, you know, there was a classic case, you know, I was selling a villa, and this guy bought this villa almost 10 years ago, you know. And when I got the title deed, of course, it had a very low value. And the guy who was buying, he said, oh my God, he bought it for 2.5 and today I'm paying him almost 8.5 million.
Lakes or meadows?
This was lakes. So 2.5 and I'm selling, you know, I'm buying from him at 8.5 million. See the amount of money he has paid. I said, see the amount of years he has waited.
Yes.
So if you're willing to wait for so many years, then of course you will make more than him, and see the amount of rent that he made out of it. So you'll also make the most out of it, and also consider the fact that the value of the property has gone up so much. So what you're buying is not something which is a lower level. What you're buying is a premium property, and the bank has also evaluated this property at a higher value. So which gives a lot of sense that you need to be patient enough to understand. And also you have to keep in mind, you know, anything that you're buying in Dubai, there is a percentage of fees that you're paying. So you cannot expect that you buy something now, you step out of the trustee office, you have a buyer standing over there who's willing to pay you 4 to 6% extra. It's not going to happen. So you have to wait. This is the game.
So, being an expert in secondary market and being a resident of Dubai for so many years, what would you advise to the people who are watching us if they want to move, let's say, to Dubai from abroad and they want to buy something ready? And then let's take a category of people who are looking to buy a property within 2 million dirhams, then within 5 million dirhams, and then let's say 10 and above. Which communities you would recommend for them?
You know, it's a very good question that you have, and the beauty about Dubai is that Dubai has options for every category of people. You know, when you talk about 2 million, you have the whole Dubai available for you because you can move around. You know, there are a lot of developments that have happened which was not there 10 years ago. 10 years ago, a 2 million would mean you have this, you have this, you have this, and that's where it stops.
Yes.
Today, you can stand at a place and do a 360 tour, and you will see options everywhere. So there are areas there's a lot of development that's happening on the Dubai South side, Emaar South. The Expo side is also coming up very well. You have the Kudra Road, which is giving you a lot of options for that range of 2 million and all. The Mac Hills 2 is there. But the moment you increase your budget, you know, let's say you go to 5 million and 6 million, you're entering a different segment of market, you know, and that's where you have limited choices, but you are also being very selective and you can make the right decision easily. With the lower budget, you get more confused. But the higher budget, you have a right set of markets and it's easy for you to choose and you get the properties that you want.
So let's say if we are talking about around 5 million range, can people already hope for getting a villa?
Of course. You can. 5 million is a big amount of money to own a villa. You can even get a villa for, let's say, 1.8 million. You could start from owning a townhouse from 1.3 million, ready to move in. When I say secondary, ready to move in. So 1.3 million you can start, and then it can go up as high as you want to. And these are not communities which are talking about very far from you. Let's say if you talk about a 5 million, you can actually be in Damak Hills, which is just very easily accessible. I'm not talking about the two. The phase 1 of Damak Hills, it's accessible. Very nice townhouses, very big townhouses. You could, if you can even get villas if you go slightly away from there. So yes, the market is open for you. You could actually get a villa for yourself. So no more apartments. Villas is the in thing. I personally love villas. If I have to buy, I would end up buying a villa for myself. I like that small garden for myself. I could do some gardening for myself early morning. I have a flexibility to move inside my house here and there, furnish it the way I want to, have my friends come over. No issue with parking, which is the big thing in parking, is becoming a big issue now in Dubai. So yeah, villa is the thing that I would want to go for.
If we're giving the advice for the multimillionaires who are moving here, and then they're looking at the premium properties, and we're talking about budgets like 20 million plus, let's say, right? And then they would have a choice to go for a penthouse, or they would have a choice to go for a villa. Palm Jumeirah, Emirates Hills, Jumeirah Island, Dubai Hills. Would you recommend them to go for standalone villas or penthouses? What's more valued now in the market? What's a more rare piece of real estate?
I mean, I personally feel that if you can buy a plot of land and have your own villa on it, like in Palm or one of these big exclusive places, that gives a bit of a premium, especially if you're investing so much. I wouldn't recommend somebody investing a huge amount of money on a penthouse on the 40th floor and having, somewhat of a sea view. You do get bored of sea view. How much of that balcony's view that you will have? You don't sit in the balcony anymore. You're inside your apartment. I would suggest that if someone has that kind of a budget, they should actually invest into a villa, because it's a pride. Personally speaking, I would say it's a pride, and it's easy to sell also. Tomorrow, let's say after 4 years, you want to sell your asset, it's easy to sell. There are people who are looking for premium properties in Dubai, because Dubai is now known for luxury side of real estate also, and Dubai has a lot to offer. So if you think from that perspective, there are luxury properties available, and I wouldn't suggest someone who has this much amount of money to buy an apartment.
I agree with you from the perspective of personal opinion as well, because for me, luxury is owning a land, and luxury is privacy as well, because it doesn't matter, your penthouse, yes, is on the top floor and you own the top floor, but then there are lots of people who are sharing with you the same building, and your neighbors from downstairs, they can still bother you with loud music or dogs or babies or whatever.
Same parking, same elevator,
yes,
same corridor, reception. So what is the difference between you who has put it 15-20 million versus the guy who's just invested 2 million? He's also enjoying the same benefit.
Exactly.
So,
but one more point that people can say, okay, you have different tastes, right? Because if you are buying a villa, you would be located in a more like peaceful atmosphere, and then if somebody is younger and they want to be, let's say, in the downtown, closer to the places where they can go out, so this is more suitable for them. So this is according to the taste. Okay, to the taste, we agree that we are both people after 35, so we want to grow a little bit of flowers, tomatoes, we want to have cats, dogs, and just drink tea and make barbecue in the garden. But even if you are looking at this from the perspective of the investors, if you look at the numbers that the statistics is showing, then yearly, if the apartments are increasing from, let's say, 8 to maximum 16%, then the capitalization on villa communities, it reaches up to 33%. So it means that this is the most desired type of the property. And even if you look at the launches that are happening with the developers, if it's a residential tower, yes, if it's sea view and well priced, yes, it's going to be sold out in a day. But if it's a little bit further away, somewhere in the desert, maybe standalone building, not in the community, it's not going to be sold out that fast, and people are not going to kill each other for this. But whenever there is a launch of villas and townhouses, people are literally killing each other.
They're waiting and killing each other to buy a portion of that. Because, you have to understand, owning a piece of land and living on it is a dream for many people. They have, most of the people, a lot of the, when Corona happened, it was a reality check for everybody. That kind of, transformed people's mindset into moving into something which they have the flexibility, and then they started realizing that this is the next step that we have to do. I mean, if I have to tell you, if you look at the journey of someone, who's new to Dubai, he would probably start with the studio, move into a slightly bigger apartment, and what next after that? He has to go into something bigger with the family growing up. And so automatically the villa becomes an automatic attraction for them. And you're right. I mean, if you look at the recent projects that have been launched, the moment there is a township coming up or villa segment is coming up, they get sold faster without realizing what will happen with them, but they just get sold. And then you're left with the residential towers, which takes months for anyone to sell. So it's coming up. The villas concept is coming up very well over here.
So I think it was a very interesting conversation, but we still have to leave a little bit of a mystery here for people who want to get like a full consultation and want to ask Hitesh 100 possible questions that is coming to their mind when they are about to decide to buy a property in Dubai. Don't hesitate, just contact us, contact 18 Bricks, tell us that you want to speak to Senior Hitesh and you want to get his private consultation. He will check his busy schedule, and maybe you will be lucky to get this consultation from him. But just to conclude our podcast today, Dubai market is 50-50 depending on what you want. If you want ready property, we have it. We have it from the owners. We have some exclusive properties in-house. We actually have more than 1,000 exclusive properties with 18 Bricks, right? If within our company we cannot find something that's gonna fit you, we're gonna go outside the limits of our company and we will find something that's going to satisfy you. So if you're looking for ready, please contact us, and Mr. Hitesh will be happy to give you a consultation and find something suitable for you. If you are looking for off-plan properties, please contact us. If you are looking to sell your properties, please contact us.
We are very experienced, and we can actually help you, guide you, sell your property at a much faster pace than what many people can do. And feel free to consult us, anytime if you want to invest in Dubai. We've been here for a long time. We've spent 14 years doing this business. So of course, there's some bit of truth we will always have in whatever we tell you. So don't hesitate.
Besides selling of plan and selling ready properties, we are dealing with rentals as well. We are dealing with property management, which is going to make owning a property in a foreign country for you absolutely hassle-free. And by the way, wait for our next episode, because the next episode is going to be with the lady who is the head of our property management department, and she makes the experience of our local and international buyers totally hassle-free with the work that she does. Our company does holiday home rentals. Our company does mortgage consultancy. Our company does renovation and design. So whatever is related to the real estate business in Dubai, 18 Bricks covers it all. So contact us, come to see us. We are nice people. We have very beautiful office.
I was about to say we have a beautiful office, and we would love to have you in our office. We have a lovely balcony also. So.
And now it's the weather.
Now it's the weather.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching us. Enjoy your day and see you at our next episode.